Now, the Daily Mail reports, you mentioned Crooks' political opinions changing. They report his views shifted dramatically left around early 2020. Crooks reportedly called for anti-Trump supporters to conduct terrorism-style attacks against US government buildings, and he even outlined ways to sneak a bomb into a government building and set it off before anyone can see you. So again, you see some of this online material, some of the things he was posting, and you wonder how he wasn't visited by law enforcement earlier. I mean, this stuff is extreme.
Yes, that is actually another thing in a lot of the cases in the Charlie Kirk case too. After the fact, you do see some chatter in these Discord chats or chat rooms or what have you. And again, just if you look at the budget and the manpower and everything else that is at the disposal of the U.S. government with the FBI and every other agency, why are they not catching these things? And maybe that's an unfair expectation to put out there, but people are very unhappy with it because it seems to keep happening and it feels like we're always behind the 8 ball. Also, in 2020, the FBI was completely directed by the Biden administration to go after J6 and school boards and all of that. That was a waste of time when people were leaving footprints.
Exactly. We had school mums who wanted to get gender madness out of the classroom being investigated, and then we've got individuals like this posting how-to guides on how to blow up buildings. And nothing. Now, let's talk about this feud between President Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene. Actually, the president has a new name for her.
Her life is in danger? Who's that?
Marjorie Taylor Greene, she says.
Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't think her life is in danger. Frankly, I don't think anybody cares about her.
She's going on The View. She's going on CNN, apologising, God knows for what. Well, here is a clue to what's behind all this tomfoolery.
He didn't tell her not to run, but what she didn't say was that he sent her a poll privately, discreetly, and it had information in it. And it showed her down 20 points to John Ossoff. And so in politics, when you want to send a message to someone that you like or that has been an ally, you don't embarrass them publicly. You privately send them information and show them what the reality is. And so I think it's true that he didn't tell her not to run, but it's also true that he did her a big favor, which is to show her information that a candidacy statewide in Georgia for her would have been a disaster.
That gives a little bit more information, a little bit more context. How do you see this?
I think some of it could be just that personal political aspiration stuff, like what Scott Jennings was alluding to. Some of it is, I think, substantive disagreements on policy. It's unfortunate because generally they're in the same tent. It would be nice if we didn't have this firing squad internally on the right, but that's part of the process. The right likes to really battle ideas, and so that's what happens. She breaks with Trump, or has been breaking with Trump on a few issues. One is the Epstein files. Release it already, she's been saying, and it was one of 2 Republicans who signed on to that bill. And now Trump, in the last 48 hours, has said, yeah, let's release it. So she was right on that. She was right on that. Yeah. And I think she's closer, being a congresswoman, she's maybe closer to the base in her constituency, at least in Georgia. So she was hearing that probably more loudly than Trump was, I can assume. The other is Israel, where she's always had this view that, frankly, more and more people are sharing. We've talked about it before, that the U.S. spends too much financial capital, political capital, diplomatic capital on that, and she was expecting Trump to not be as knee-deep in it as he is. Rightly or wrongly, it got handed to him, but that's been a big fracture between the two of them. And then the third is economics, where she feels he's not doing enough to ease domestic economic woes, inflation, healthcare costs, all of that, and she wants him to just focus on that.
All of that is understandable because that does represent quite a significant segment of the MAGA base. So, but when she's going on CNN and apologising, when we've watched the left celebrate Charlie Kirk's murder, and when they go electing an attorney general in Virginia who wanted the children of Republicans murdered, and they elect him.
That was odd, and it wasn't like
to me. That was just left a very bad taste.
It was definitely off-brand for her too. So maybe it's because of the political aspirations, which she was trying to appeal more to the moderates. I don't know, but that one did not age well, and that name, Marjorie Taylor Greene, will stick because Trump is very good at that.
He's so good at nicknames. I mean, it's almost an obvious one, but wow.
Yeah, it's going to stick.
Oh, it's going to stick. That's the thing. Even if they make up, that is a ready-made nickname for anybody who wants to have a go at her. Now, the United Nations Security Council voted to adopt President Trump's peace deal earlier today and establish an international force to govern and secure the Gaza Strip. 13 countries on the Security Council supported the plan. 2, Russia and China, abstained, but kosher, they did not exercise their veto power. That's significant.
Yes. This, you could say it's a symbolic gesture, what they did, because they can register their criticism. They said the deal is too ambiguous. It's going to end up favoring the U.S., which, well, the U.S. brokered it, so, fair enough. And a few other criticisms that they have on the substance of it without vetoing, because they didn't want to throw a wrench into this thing that finally we got to a place after a long, hard journey of peace, and hopefully it lasts. Also, it's interesting to note that they haven't really used their veto power too much on this issue. I was looking it up, only 5 times between the two of them. And the U.S. has used it 50 times since the thing broke out, the conflict under both administrations, which goes back to that point of how much diplomatic capital the U.S. has used in this conflict. And those two, Russia and China, kind of want to keep it at arm's length, be opportunistic, be more pragmatic, I guess, in a way that serves their national interests without taking a strong position on either side.
Now, let's talk about Poland. Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk has described an explosion on the country's rail network near the Ukraine border as an unprecedented act of sabotage. And Russia is the leading suspect there, Kosha?
Yes. So to me, this is another reminder that war rages on. We certainly didn't wrap it up in 24 hours, as I think was Trump had put out there during the campaign. And it's a very complex war. It's overt, it's covert, there's potential sabotage, false flags, like all sorts of things happening, multidimensional warfare. It reminded me of the Nord Stream pipeline blow-up, and we still don't conclusively know who was behind that. There are different theories. Was it the West? Was it Russia? There isn't actually global consensus on that. And so this is another one that reminded me of that.
I've got a good idea with that one, I've got to say. I've got a suggestion here. Maybe Poland can unleash their new Trump-loving president, Karol Nawrocki, to find the culprits. Look how fit he is. That's incredible. That's the Polish president.
We're in a new era. We want to see strong leaders, rhetorically strong, physically strong. So he's right on point.
He is on point. Kosha Gator, thank you so much for your time.
Pleasure.